This channel is made for you. It's called $1,000,000 Made Easy, and we simply run numbers for people, show them what the S&P 500 can do, and what we do is use the returns for the last 100 years for the S&P 500, and we show people if they can just be in it for the long term, at least 25, 30 years, the numbers are simply mind-boggling. In this case, I've got somebody that's 39 years old. He says he has 350,000 saved up, which is one of the criteria I need from you to run your numbers. $350,000. Just give me your beginning balance. You want me to run your numbers. It could be zero. You could just be starting out. In this case, 39-year-old, $350,000. He says he wants to contribute $1,500 a month right here for the next 7 years. And then from year 8 to year 20, he's going to cut that down to $1,000. So let's go ahead and do this. 1,000. This is what he's putting in, and he wants me to run that stop after 20 years. So I'm going to stop after 20 years, and we're going to go ahead and run the numbers here. 1,500 for the first 7 years, 1,000 a month. This is per month. 1,000 a month for the next down through year 20. Make sure I got it. Year 20. Yep, and then it stops. Okay, we're ready to go. This is what we can do for you. Run numbers. Your beginning balance, your monthly amount, and if you want me to increase it, I'll go ahead and increase it. I don't think he asked me to increase that. What I mean by that is this 1,500 a month, increase that by 3% a year going down through here, and this 1,000, increase that by 3% a year. But he didn't ask that, so I'm just going to run these numbers. What we do is look where somebody would be. For example, using the 1924 numbers, this is what you would have after 20 years, 1.887 million. After 1927 numbers, you have 1.815. But instead of going down through here, I'm just going to go ahead and update this, and we're going to be looking at actually, I don't have a 20-year column here. We'll be looking at the 19 and 21-year column here. Let's go ahead and update this. This is what we do for you is run numbers for you. He wanted to know where he might be. So here are the numbers. Takes just a moment for it to recalculate. It's doing every single year. Okay, the 19-year column. Given this scenario, starting with 350,000, 1,500 a month for the first 7 years, and then 1,000, you would have put in 620,000 over the 19-year period. The worst case scenario going down through here would be 1.260. If you look, that's 1929. Why 1929? Because you can see there was just a whole lot of bad years, and you're only looking at a 19-year period. So 19, these are the returns from right here to right there. Look how many of them are red. Yeah, there were some good years in between, but you just didn't have time for the market to come back. But in this case, 19-year period, worst case scenario, 1.26 million. The median in this column is 3.5, and the highest you're going to see is 9.8 million. In other words, there's a range here, which is what we said in our initial right here. We run the actual historical returns of the S&P 500, and we project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. And the resulting numbers are simply a possible range of what may happen in the future. So that's what we do in this channel. You look at the 20-year column or 21-year column, you would have put in 632,000. The worst case scenario, 1.593. Again, that's 1929. The median being 4.132 and the maximum 14 million. There's your range for the 21-year period. So that's what he can look forward to. The market continues to do what it's been doing for 100 years. This kind of a range for a 19-year period, this kind of a range for a 21-year period. I've actually color-coded it for the 21-year period. 100% of the time, you'd have over a million, which makes sense. The minimum is 1.59. 95% of the time, color-coded in blue, you'd have over 2 million. And look at that, 61% of the time, color-coded in gold, you'd have over $3 million. As we go down through here, you can see this gold just keeps going. You can get up here 7 million, 9 million, or whatever. These are the numbers he gave me to run. I just wanted to show you what the awesome power of the S&P 500. And other videos, I actually show you what you can have when you have 35, 40, 45 years. But in this case, he's already got $350,000 saved up. I also want to take into account inflation. We always do this in channel, showing what the amounts these amounts would have in buying power after, for example, 21 years. These amounts wouldn't have the same buying power as they do today with a 3% inflation rate. The corresponding ones would be right here. In other words, just 4.132 would have the buying power of 2.21 and so on. You can look at these all the way across there. But I wanted to run the numbers for this individual. That's what we do on this channel. We run numbers for people just to give you an idea of what you might have in the future. It doesn't take as much as you might think to reach a millionaire status. That's why we call this channel $1,000,000 Made Easy. Please consider subscribing. If you want me to run numbers for you, give me your beginning balance, your monthly contribution. If you want to increase that all, and we'll go ahead and run it. It's best if we run it for at least 20 years. In this case, that's exactly what we're doing. But if we can run it for 30, 35, 40 years, the numbers are simply mind-boggling. Again, please consider subscribing, sharing, and liking these videos. Let people know there's a channel out there that'll run numbers for them. If you want me to keep running numbers for you, just keep giving me different numbers, and I will go ahead and run them. Thanks for watching.